Hello everybody, welcome to the officially unofficial Geek Channel's weekly comic roundup. And I am always your host. Yeah, I am always your host, Carrie Quinn, and I am here to do a little bit late, but my weekly comic roundup for the week of July 6th, July 5th. Yeah, July 5th was Monday, but technically I don't get comics until Tuesday, so July 6th will do very nicely. So, had quite a bit of comics this week. So let me get into them so I don't have to keep you guys very long. So first in our comics that we're going to talk about this week, we're going to talk about Justice League number 64. It's pretty cool cover here. So it seems to be Parents' Weekend at the Hall of Justice, and just as they were about to start showing Naomi's adoptive parents the VIP tour, the one with all the bathrooms, the Justice League is called to action to fight the Samara Utopia. I'm probably mispronouncing that because he's got some beef with Superman, and he's escaped his own court proceedings, and he's beat up a group, kind of an intergalactic Justice League type group called the United. He's really beaten up on them and is headed to do some business, not so nice business, with our boy Superman. I did enjoy this. There were some really kind of cute, funny moments involving Naomi's parents. Them being like, "Oh my God, you guys got bathrooms at the Hall of Justice," um, and them all being in awe of what they were dealing with, and like, yeah, I mean, it was actually pretty cute issue. Not really anything like bad or fantastic, like extraordinary happened. Um, at least in my opinion. So yeah, it's pretty just normal, solid issue. No major complaints with me on that one. So next in our comic roundup would be our girl Crush and Lobo number 2. Okay, so I love Crush. It's another Crush and Lobo is another good solid issue for this short series. I love that Crush is just as addicted to coffee as I am, probably. And here Crush is kind of having to think while she's traveling about Katie, her ex-girlfriend that she just broke up with, that just got dumped by, whatever you want to call it. Trying to think back on their relationship and thinking about what went wrong. She makes it to the penitentiary, the space jail, in enough time to opening herself up to work on her shit. I'm waiting for next month to see, because since she's there, we're gonna find out exactly. I think we're gonna find out that Lobo isn't really into the whole working things out thing. And he's probably called his daughter there to help him break out. That's just my opinion. I'm thinking that that's basically what we're going to be dealing with next issue. I really I really don't think this is some like effort on Lobo's part to reform, because that's just not the kind of character he is. Like I said, solid issue, really great. I'm really liking the character of Crush in particular, and can't wait for next month. So the next issue that we're going to talk about is Suicide Squad number 5. Yes, this was a pretty good issue. I did really enjoy this. I'm really liking all the stuff with Bloodsport and his field reports. Waller really should just loosen that cob up her ass. Um, not taking not taking a proper shit and sometimes leads to a lot of health problems. So maybe she should just loosen that cob up her ass. Um, so he is on Earth 3, and he is looking at the crime syndicate to kind of recruit more people for the Suicide Squad. And he has been given his target by Waller, and he gets in a little bit of a predicament, a little trouble with the apprehension of his target. Waller, and that stuff is going on involving that. Waller herself is got a few irons there in the fire, and she makes moves to acquire more pawns for her schemes. Will either Bloodsport or Waller succeed? Well, we'll have to find out next month. It did leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger, especially in regards to Bloodsport. So we'll have to see what happens there. Pretty solid issue. Like I said, I was really enjoying Bloodsport, especially since we're going to be seeing him as kind of the main leader type guy in Suicide Squad. So it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited for that. So next up, we have X-Men 1. Okay, so this is kind of a restart of the X-Men series. Okay, so there is this new mutant world called Krakoa. It's basically, Krakoa is on Mars. And a small team of the X-Men are operating in kind of a Krakoa home outreach in the middle of Manhattan in the form of a skyscraper, treehouse. Pretty cool look overall. So restarting a title, as that they've done with X-Men and however they do it, restarting a title should be a jumping off point for new or returning reader to jump onto. And it needs to be done in a way that new readers understand what's going on, and with minimal effort. Obviously, sometimes, unless it's a complete redo, complete reboot, there's still going to be aspects of the story, the previous story, that are involved, and that's the case right here with X-Men 1. So it should be done, catching up and understanding what's going on should be done with a minimal effort. And this comic, in some aspects, pulls that off, and in other parts are a little bit foggy. Now, I got the purpose of Krakoa and the treehouse. That was pretty cool. I do understand that. I kind of like the idea of the mutants having their own home, where they can be and live and not have to worry as much about everything. I like the idea of the X-Men coming in and being the premier group of protection, and the fight that they have and everything like that. That was really great. And putting together that robot to fight the monster, it was really awesome. And the story involving how the monster came to be there was actually kind of cool too. So I won't give that away because I didn't see that coming at all, but it was also pretty cool. But there's some aspects like in the beginning of the story, you have this whole story about some guy named Kevin Hain. It was a little less obvious. Now, I've watched some other people's reviews of this, and it makes a little bit more sense to me now. So my understanding of it is a lot better. It's not really all that complicated to get on board with this one. So, cause he basically, the deal with him is he was looking to create a kind of like an inhabitant, like a habitat on Mars, and then it's like, oh crap, the mutants have done it and seemingly done it like it was nothing, and that kind of upsets him, and he kind of has some mommy and daddy issues, and we'll have to see where that goes. So, it doesn't take too much. Any misunderstanding that someone might have involving those before moments doesn't take too much from the story, because the bulk of the story is not necessarily how they got there and this guy. It's about them pulling together and fighting basically an alien enemy of some type. So and it was really great how like they took care of it all, and it was really cool. It was really cool how they did that, and it was really cool how they worked that out. So I did very much enjoy X-Men #1. I will be continuing this one. I think I was an X-Men fan as a kid, watching the cartoon and all that, and got into the comics a little bit as a young adult, and then now getting back into it. It's really great that I have this moment where I can jump off from and kind of understand what's going on in the world of X-Men, and getting to read it again is pretty cool. And of course, my girl Rogue is part of the team in Manhattan, so it's pretty cool to have Rogue there, and you've got Cyclops and you got Jean Grey. And you got X-23 is no longer X-23. X-23 is Wolverine now. It's so cool. So it's a female Wolverine. Those of you that have questions, X-23 is basically a clone and accepted daughter of Wolverine, of Logan. So she is started out being known as X-23, and then she went and now is being considered Wolverine. She's Wolverine now. I don't know what's going on with Logan at this point. That requires some research that I'll be doing, just to kind of get an idea of what's happening with that part of the storyline. So overall, pretty cool. Liked it a lot. Great, great artwork, great story. I was really digging how that went along, and it was really cool. So next up, we have the wonderful Wonder Girl #2. I've been waiting for this one for a while. It feels like, actually, I know we skipped a month without a Wonder Girl. So I kept on looking, when is it coming? When is it coming? And there was no Wonder Girl in June. Here it is. Little Wonder Girl, little Yara Flor. Holy shit on this one. Okay, so I really enjoyed this one. I know I'm saying this with all the comics this week, but here's the deal. There was nothing really horrible or really bad on any of the comics this week. I know a couple of weeks ago, I really just did not get Batman Reptilian. I'm going to give it another shot. Don't worry. But right now, like I said, there's nothing that I just did not like at all. I liked everything. It was a great week for DC and a little bit of Marvel, and a little bit of Dark Horses I'm going to get to in a bit. So Yara has been given the favor of Yara. Okay, so Ira or Yara, they're kind of saying that Yara was named after this legendary great warrior and now mermaid slash water serpent tech character. So when we last saw Wonder Girl, Yara, she was pulled into the water. Now what you find out, which was kind of a like a cliffhanger, and you're like, holy shit, you know, Wonder Girl just got pulled into the water, and oh man, she's in trouble. Well, you know, not exactly. Um, so this legendary warrior slash mermaid slash water serpent, really cool looking, by the way. Basically, kind of like if Yara Flor was cooking to from a cake mix to eventually become a cake. I'm a fat girl. I like to compare things to cake. I'm sorry. Okay, so if Yara Flor was a batter mixture to make cake, okay? And you put her in the oven, all right? That process to make Yara Flor fully Wonder Woman cake, I guess it occurred based on what I'm reading. It occurred in that water. She was imbibed with the favor of this legendary warrior mermaid slash serpent, and now she is fully Wonder Girl. Um, so that was pretty cool. I did quite enjoy that, and um, I really just now doing this video, I have to tell you, I really just now doing this video came up with the whole like comparing it to baking a cake thing. So if you didn't like that, if you're a little turned off by that, I'm sorry. I'm a fat girl. I like cake. I want cake. I don't have any cake. Anyways, so if Yara Flor was the batter put in a pan to put in the oven to make a cake, um, the whole oven was basically underwater with that legendary warrior turned mermaid turned, yeah, whatever. So it was cool, okay? Um, so everyone is still after her. We dealt with this in the first issue. Everybody is all after her for their same reasons, for their same desired outcomes. Now we've added Queen Hippolyta has sent Cassie, Wonder Girl Cassie. Okay, I'm really glad that they kind of brought her out and was like, okay, we're gonna pay homage to a previous Wonder Girl. And they pulled out Cassie. It was pretty cool. Cassie has been sent by Queen Hippolyta to Brazil, this huge, big country of Brazil, to just find Yara. Yeah. So Cassie's actually not doing too horribly at it. I mean, she's there, and she actually runs into somebody else that's on the trail of Yara for their own reasons, for their own desired outcomes. Um, and yeah, so and Yara has to like interact with some of these people, and it basically causes her to indirectly interact with a Greek god, Eros. I think I pronounced that right. Eros, which is basically a version of Cupid, from what I'm understanding. So he's been sent by Hera to, I guess, get rid of Yara. And so he accidentally pricked himself with his own arrow. Really? You had one job. You had one job, and you pricked yourself with your own goddamn arrow. Seriously? Seriously? So guess who is the first person this god sees after he pricks himself with his own goddamn arrow? Of course, it's Yara. It's Yara Flor. And then, you know what? So basically, it's the same kind of principle that you hear in a lot of this mythology. He has now pricked himself with his own arrow. He has been pierced by the arrow, basically. It's not in the standard way, but he's still been pricked by this arrow. And now Yara is the thing of his the person of his affections. So that's basically what we've been led to believe. We will have to see next month, next issue, what this really means for the story. So I really did enjoy this entire issue. It was really great. I do enjoy how it is shaping up. I wish everyone would just stop trying to kill her. I'm like wondering why so many people are trying to kill her. It's kind of odd, but maybe we'll get more answers with that at a later time. So, the next issue I'm going to be talking about today, we're gonna move on now because I think I've talked enough about Wonder Girl and comparing her and her journey to baking a cake. But right now, we're gonna go and get into the final issue of the next Batman Second Son, getting us ready. If you're like me and you like to look ahead but not get too many spoilers, but get yourself a little bit excited about things coming up in later months, couple months from here, a couple months from there, and you're really getting into it, you liked Future State, what you got to read of it, and you have been reading the next Batman Second Son, this is the issue, guys. This is the one. This is the one where it starts falling into place for Jace Fox. Wow. So, like I said, if you read the next Batman Future State, you know who Jace Fox is slash becomes. And this issue is the conclusion and the resolution to an origin story, a really wonderfully written, in my opinion, origin story of sorts. So, of how Jace ended up becoming a version of Batman. Every part of the Fox family is trying to find their place in the world post Joker War, post A-Day, and with this story, this part of the story coming to a close as the preamble for the upcoming, the upcoming I Am Batman title, still, I believe, going to be written by John Ridley, who did fantastically on this and who has written fantastically before for comics. I'm really excited to just jump on that fucking title. I Am Batman, Jace Fox. Come on down. Come on down. Okay, so guys, we have two more issues that I'm going to be talking about here. And when I talk about these two issues, because you guys, if you've been with me, you know pretty much that I do a what's the word I'm looking for? A comic of the week, my favorite comic of the week. And the thing is these next two issues, they really tie. I thought about it at first earlier today when I finished the comics, when I finished reading them today, and I read these two today. Not earlier than today. I read these two today. When I read these two, and I finished reading everything else, it was like one in particular. I was like, okay, if I'm going to choose one, I'm going to choose one comic of the week. I'm going to choose this one, but this other one's going to be right before it, because I kind of do it in order, building up to the comic of the week. That's how I do this. I don't divide them up by Marvel, DC, Independent. No, I don't do that. I build up in a ranking. So basically, if we had like 8 comics, right? Did we have 8 comics? Okay, so fuck. If we had like 8 comics, it's like your top 8. Okay? So working away from like number 8 to number 1. Now, this week in particular, these two that I picked for the top spots were pretty. It's hard for me to choose which one's better than the other, because they both have really great things about them. So what I'm going to talk to you about first is from Dark Horse. And as a child, I used to watch She-Ra, and I used to watch He-Man. I am actually very excited to see the upcoming Netflix animated series done by Kevin Smith and Company, and they have put out through Dark Horse a comic for, it's called Masters of the Universe Revelation. Um, this cover, by the way, this cover was done by the same guy that did Harleen. And I'm horrible at pronouncing his name. And last week I talked about Harleen. I'm going to try and pronounce his name again. I'm going to pull this out. I bag and board all the books because, of course, we are not savages. Um, what is that? Is that a thumbprint on my comic? Oh, motherfucker. Okay. Uh, Stepan Sejic. Yeah, I'm totally probably pronouncing that wrong. It sucks. He did the cover for this, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Um, Kevin Smith, really, what a brilliant man. Okay, so we got a lot of names on this cover, so let's just kind of run these things down, okay? So, story by Kevin Smith and Rob David, script by Tim Sheridan, art by Mindy Lee, color art Rico Renzi, lettering by Deron Bennett. Wow, there's a lot of people involved in this. So the story by Kevin Smith, the script by Tim Sheridan, and those people, well, it's Kevin Smith and Rob David for the story, the script, Tim Sheridan. Wow. Okay. So when somebody says that they've written the story, when they've written the story, but not the script, so that concept kind of confuses me. So I'm thinking, one of the things that was majorly loved by me is probably more story rather than script. So I'm just going to operate under that idea. If I'm wrong and you see this, please call me out. Tell me how horribly wrong I am. Okay, but Masters of the Universe Revelation. So the king has been attacked, and He-Man is tasked with going back in time and looking for answers, and witnesses the creation, actually, of the Sword of Power. And he sees Hero and King Grayskull. He-Man legit saves King Grayskull and arrives back in his time with something to work with to get the answers they need to help the king in his time. But someone else is trying to control the goings on elsewhere, and I bet you can guess who that is. Especially if you used to watch the classic He-Man show, you can guess who that is. Kevin Smith's comic book writing previously has been previously, and a number of times I've seen people speak with a lot of reverence, and the writing here proves that reverence is well placed. The points of narration specifically, where it's not people talking, the points of narration specifically are created like, and they flow like goddamn poetry. and it's a relaxing, fantastical story, and the narration especially was just so brilliant. It flowed so well. I actually at one point read, there was a string of narration boxes, and I read them. Just I kind of was like sitting there like, okay, what would this sound like if it was said out loud? And I read it out loud, and it was just beautiful. It was like poetry, and it was absolutely brilliant. Kudos for this. This is good. This is really, really fantastic. And if you have not picked it up yet, because you're not normally an indie kind of guy or gal, or they, non-binary persons, everyone reads comics. I think y'all get what I mean. trying to be inclusive here. I'm a very inclusive person, and I want to make sure I'm including everyone. So, everyone, anyone that reads comics, if you have not read it, because maybe you're just like, I've heard of He-Man, and I used to watch it when I was a kid and everything, and but I got all this other stuff to read. Now go ahead and go back to your store, go back to your LCS and pick it up. Read it. It's not that horrible to read. Like I said, it flows like it flows like Velveeta cheddar cheese melted over macaroni. It's great and it's yummy. So go get it, read it, let me know what you think of it. So that brings us to the last comic book of the week. And you've been waiting for it. Yeah, you've been waiting for it. I there is no doubt about this. I'm a fucking Batman comic fan. I'm a fucking Harley fan. Obviously, there's no absolutely excuse me, absolutely no secret about that. So 18 minutes plus fighting between Batman and Peacekeeper 1. Damn. Okay, so Batman is saying they're taking some risks, and if it wasn't for Ghostmaker, yeah, that would have been rough. That would have been a really rough landing for him. And so you get the whole fight, and everything that's going on during the fight, and the everything just kind of like falling in where it is. Like boom, 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 boom. You got some Nightwing. Nightwing's coming to help. You've got Ghostmaker hanging out still with Harley. Harley's coming with Ghostmaker, and Oracle's freaking out, and it's it's great. Um, this whole fight is just going on, and they've lost communication with Batman. They can't communicate with Batman. Oracle's like, I can't even get him. I can't get him on the comm. And it's like, oh, and you as a reader, you're seeing what's going on. You're seeing every little bit of it. And it's just like, bam. And then all of a sudden, you have that moment where the boom, 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 all the fucking bombs, little bombs that Batman is fucking planning start going off, and holy shit, it's fucking Morse code. It's Morse code. Fucking Ghostmaker realizes it's Morse code. Holy shit. And he knows what to do. Oh my god. What? And then I love the part where they've gotten Batman, and Ghostmaker's like, that was really like not, that was not all there. Like he's just like, really, dude, really, if that had gone 1 millisecond wrong, if you misjudged that at all, they would have been scraping you off the payment. Basically, is what he's saying. And Batman's like, I would have figured it out. I would have figured it out anyway. Yeah, really. Sure, dude. Okay. So, like I said, Harley's with them, and Harley's just sitting there. She's, peacefully sitting on Ghostmaker's ship, drinking a little tea, because I don't think Harley, I don't think Harley in any of the incarnations of Harley ever drinks coffee. I think she's always drinking tea. There's a little thing in Batman White Knight Presents Harley Quinn, where she's talking to Neo Joker, and they're like, she's like, I can't drink coffee because it makes me crazy. She only drinks tea. So the news are talking about Officer Mahoney, or Peacekeeper 1, and who he was and what he did. And at one point, Harley just does a spit take with her tea. And so, who doesn't love a classic spit take? Classic. It was classic, and it was drawn so well, and it fits so well. And then she's just like, spit take, and she's like, wait, did they just say this guy? And they're like, yeah, they just said this guy. This guy is he was this guy, and he was one of the guards at Arkham during A-Day. And she's just like, that guy's a fuck. Um, she's just like, if Gotham puts their eggs in that basket, they're all fucking nuts. And she's just like, and I'm fucking nuts, and I'm a doctor, so I'm qualified to tell them all that they're fucking nuts. Not only from experience and just knowing thyself, but because I have the degree. Yeah. Um. So that could have been the end of the issue, and that would have been fine. But you know what? So you got the Peacekeeper and Simon Saint and the Magistrate getting put together, and they are on. They were running after the Insanity group, and which is our girl Miracle Molly is a part of that group, and we had met Miracle Molly a few issues ago, and she's really cool. And Batman, dressed in a disguise, Bruce Wayne dressed in a disguise, actually really kind of understood her and kind of got along with her when he went to do some research, and he kind of gets where she's coming from, it seems. So the Peacekeeper and the rest of them have turned their focus temporarily away from Batman and have gone to get the Insanity group. And so most of them have escaped. Now, this one little kid that's really fond of Miracle Molly has come back to try to help Miracle Molly, and Miracle Molly is the only one in their lair still. Well, all I can say is I hope that Batman, Harley, Ghostmaker, and Nightwing, who is also, like I said, on his way, get there to wherever Molly is in time to save that beautiful tech goddess. Because it looks like Peacekeeper 1 is about to not be too kind to Miracle Molly. Even though she's being peaceful, she's like, look, you can take me peacefully. No, he's wanting to not. And so cross your fingers on that one. So that is our comics for the week. I apologize that it took me so long to do this. Normally, like I said, I get that out on Friday or Saturday, but I had other stuff to do. And guess what? If you want to check that out, you want to check out part of the other stuff that I was doing, yesterday I posted a haul video. It's very strongly comic books. So get in there. It's older comic book issues, some older ones, and some not so old but still not current issues. And it's here on YouTube, and you can check that out. So that's really cool. So I'm getting ready for the next week of comics. I have a couple days before I go pick up a good deal of my comics. So I'm really excited. Got the Joker coming out. We've got a few other things. It's gonna be Urban Legends is coming out. I'm so excited about that, especially the Jason Todd Red Hood story and the Grifter story. I'm excited. I love the Grifter storyline. I love the Red Hood storyline. I can't wait. Anyways, so that's it for this week. For the officially unofficial Geek channel here on YouTube, our weekly comic roundup. And I am Carrie Quinn. I'm your host as always. I'm always here. You can check us out on Facebook. You can also follow me on Twitter, me personally. My handle is at Carrie Q Author. So go ahead, check that out. going to be putting together more reviews for you guys. I'm going to be doing all that stuff. I'm going to be doing the geek thing. And I'm here for y'all. So visit your local comic book shop. Subscribe, like, comment on this video. Let me know if you like the same books that I did. If you have any viewpoints on anything that I talked about, maybe you like the Yara Flor becoming Wonder Girl compared to cake analogy. Maybe you liked it and you want to be like, hey, Carrie, maybe, yeah, it really is like baking a cake. Maybe. Or maybe you have an even better food analogy in regards to the making of Wonder Girl. Please leave it in a comic. Leave it in a comment down below. I will respond to any comment. Please, let's interact. Let's talk about this. This is not just me yelling at the screen about fucking comics all the time. I want to know what you guys think. So do it. Go to your local comic book shop. Bye. Like I said, this is the officially unofficial Geek Channel comic book roundup, and I'll be seeing you. My name is Harley Quinn. Please do all those things. Like, subscribe, comment, follow us on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and I'll be seeing you guys soon.